Hello everybody, my name is James Turnipseed. Welcome to Fear the Walking Dead, episode sicut cervus. Spoilers ahead. Um, Conflict arises as the Abigail approaches its destination. Chris makes a staggering decision, and Nick meets a new maternal figure. Um, Basically, like I said, spoilers incoming throughout the whole thing. But basically, this is like The Walking Dead season 2 when they're on the farm, but with subtitles because they're in Mexico, but they say Baja, and isn't it Baja California? I don't know. I'm not a geography person, but whatever. So it starts off in Mexico with a bunch of people in a church, and you're thinking like, oh, it's a flashback, and the father's preaching about how what kind of God would allow this, but it's not God, it's evil, and it feeds off your, what's the word? Your doubt. Your doubt. So it's, the whole thing's in subtitles, so you gotta read. Who doesn't watch TV to read, right? Oh, wait. But yeah, and then they're taking the little body of Christ wafer things, and then Thomas shows up, and you're like, oh, it's not a flashback, this is real time. And then they're talking and their eyes start bleeding as their stomach hurts and they drop to their knees and then blood trickles out of their eyeballs. And the Thomas like grabs the father and he's like, this is her fault, it's her fault. Like I couldn't read the whole thing because personal issues, so I don't have the best eyesight and I'm missing a contact lens in this eye. So kind of hard to read from where I'm sitting, but whatever. Um, then we cut back to the boat and everything's going good. They're meeting the people they need to meet with Lewis, and then Tran tells everybody to go under the deck and hide, so they go hide down below, and they're talking, and we get a translator from Daniel, and he basically just says they're making a exchange, and the guy's asking him about like, this is a big boat, how much was this nice boat? And he's like, so I don't want to talk about money. He's like, okay, well let's talk about gold then. And it costs 1 gold bar to get into Mexico per person. And then we learned not to say asshole in Spanish because Maddie asked Strand about it, and he's like, you don't say it. And then they get into a firefight, and Lewis ends up dying, and the two other dudes end up dying as well, or one other dude. No, it's two. There's two other people died, and then they're on a boat. They get and then they leave, and they're getting shot at by what Strand says is the military. But then they make it to the shore, and they're like, oh well, they think what's on land will kill us faster. So then they get into Mexico, and we meet I forgot her name, but there's some people and they're like, "Oh, welcome, hi, hola, hola, hola," and everyone's saying like, "Oh, hi and hola," and then they ask for their weapons. So it's much like in The Walking Dead when they meet Herschel on the farm, and he's like, "Put your weapons. You don't need guns here." And then they just like hang out for the rest of the episode on the farm. They pretty much just hang out in this place in Mexico while you read in mostly in subtitles. But it's The Walking Dead, so it doesn't. That is what it seems. But there is a code to The Walking Dead, and it usually goes bad thing, nice thing, bad thing, nice thing, bad thing, nice thing. Is what I've learned from the TV shows and the comic book. Just like they can't have nice things, and there's always a new big bad guy to come. Um, so yeah, they're just kind of hanging out, and Celia, Lewis's mom, um, turns out she's the one that poisoned all those people in the church and killed them. And Thomas got bit, and then him and Strand kind of have a nice thing. And it seems like they were gonna do a suicide pact, which they actually do in the comic version of The Walking Dead. Um, Sasha and her boyfriend will have sex with each other and then will kill each other. It'll be romantic, and they do it, but turns out one missed, and then if you want to know it, read it. But doesn't end up for the boyfriend very well. Um, so yeah, and then they're just kind of hanging out, and then oh, before that, when the group comes back, they're at the church part from the beginning, and all those people with blood in their eyes turn to zombies and are now attacking everybody. And Madison's on the ground and one's like holding her down, and she's kind of like, you know that scene, like, oh no, help me. And then Chris kind of just looks at her like this, and then Alicia's like, Chris, help! And then runs up and stabs it, and kind of looks at him like, what the fuck, bro? And then that goes into later because now they're having an altercation between Alicia and Chris, and she's kind of like, you were gonna let my mom, you were just watching. He's like, I froze. You were watching. You were gonna let it happen. And he's like, I froze. And he gets like real close and kind of like pins her up against the wall and they won't let her pass. And he's like, don't tell anybody, because what will happen? I don't want to hurt anybody. And like stares at her like this. And it's kind of like, what's going on here? They're having like a like Chris is becoming a serial psycho murderer, like tough guy as well. I didn't get it, but okay, something's happening. Um, Madison and Travis get into it because they get into it from with Nick being a heroin junkie in and out of rehab, and I was there, and basically like we're two married people that maybe shouldn't be married, and our kids kind of don't get along, and it's kind of like tension, uh, family. He's not really my son, she's not really my daughter, type of thing. Because now Madison's gonna sleep with Elijah in the bed because she's afraid Chris will get her in the middle of the night. And then he's like, fine, I'll sleep with Chris, but like you're freaking picking sides. Like, I need you, you're my wife. This is my family. So I don't know. That was kind of weird. Just like I don't get it. But yeah, and then yeah, they Fran and Travis. Oh no, Nick and Ophelia, I believe her name was the Salvadorian Daniel's daughter. I believe her name's Ophelia, but she tells him to go with her somewhere, but she doesn't tell him where. And she takes him to this like shrine they have for all the with like photos of the dead and people pray, and then yeah. So then she's like, when's the last time you were in a church? And then we're like thinking like when it all happened, when he was hooked up on heroin with that one chick. But then yeah, she's praying, talking to her mom about her dad because he's still kind of like freaked out and weird, being weird about it. And then like he doesn't trust Celia, which hey, you're not supposed to, right? Um, so yeah, but then he's looking at this like owl carved into the wood, and he's having a flashback, and it's like, oh, here's a flashback to the last time he was in church. You remember the first episode of the first season? Is what I got from that. And then Daniel's walking around, and he sees some like a boy drop a dog down a thing, and he's like, what the hell? And then he goes and he finds the little boy talking to his mom in Spanish. He's like, who are you talking to in Spanish? He's like, my mommy. And he's like, oh, can you introduce me to her? It's okay. And he's like, you can look at her through the gate. And then they're all there like, zombies in the farm from season 2. So it's like, yeah, Celia's killing people or poisoning them because she doesn't think they're really dead. It's like this what happens next. And it ends with Strand shooting Thomas, and then Chris was also going in the room with Alicia, Alicia, and then he has a knife, and then like the gun goes off, and he's kind of like standing there like what? It's kind of like he's bipolar now, like he's on a not bipolar, schizo, where it's like one time he's like I'll kill you, and he's like what's going on? Where am I? Why do I have this knife? Ah. So that's how it ends. And now they're doing the mid-season finale, which is next week, and the premiere of Preacher's next week. I'm not sure if I'm gonna watch Preacher. Probably not, because I haven't read the comic, and I kind of want to read it before I watch it to compare. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I feel on that day. But yeah, so tomorrow or next week is the mid-season finale. What's a mid-season? I never heard of a mid-season until I started watching The Walking Dead on AMC season 2. So yeah, I don't know. Mid-season finale next week. I'll be here hanging out doing it for you guys because that's what we do it. This one was kind of long-winded. I apologize for that. If you stuck with me for this long, appreciate it. Peace.